Alright, I have returned. Hello chat. Main focus points for Castro. I think he put them very well actually. Mostly realizing what heroes to play and what heroes not to play and how to play them is probably the best. Let's go back to the coaching scene. So yeah, if you want to play McCree, you've got to know that against double shield, you are gonna get no value just shooting at the shields, so you got to take an off angle. If you're gonna play McCree with the intention of countering dive and then don't have dive, you can play Ashe. You can play even Shoulder if you want to. Shoulder is probably better than McCree at controlling an angle and going for a flank, so Shoulder is probably better for that regard. Soldier is definitely not better for peeling, so if they go for your backline, you can probably go for McCree instead. But yeah, I would say recognizing the moments where you can play in certain styles. Don't go for a flank when your team needs you on the front line. And don't play on the front line when you're getting no value. It changes a lot. Okay, let's move on to the next one then. How do I go to get your new Water Works? First thing first, I have a Discord where you can just post bots. I'll put it in the chat. And secondly, I'm probably going to be doing reviews for you guys for a little bit anyways. So if you tell Brad to reach out to me, we can probably do this again. Maybe not next week, but every couple weeks. Something like this, where I can just give you guys 3 reviews in a row every other Thursday. But yeah. Let's move on to the next one now. Which means... Oh, thank you for the follow, SPSS Code name. I like that name. Okay, hold on, let me get the next one, which is Mercy, played by Minai Mer. We call her Mer as Merdit. Oh, I see where the pun comes from now. Okay, yeah. Let me change the title. We are now watching Midnight Mare from 413 Hellstorm. Looks like we are... Okay. Looks like we are playing... I was looking at the team at their team comp and your team comp. I'm a bit... Why are we playing this, right? It's a weird comp for sure. But I like it. I don't... Okay, let's start over. It's not a weird comp. It's a reasonable dive comp. Dive tanks with Ana for long range healing, Mercy to pocket the Echo and then Tracer. It's pretty solid. The problem right now is that a hero exists by the name of Brigitte that kinda fucks these two over. So, I'm glad they don't have Brigitte, but if they have Brigitte, we are running dive. Yeah. If they have Brigitte, you probably have to swap off of this. The reason Ball can still play into Brigitte is that Ball can still roll through and go out alive because he has shields. But if your Monkey gets stunned, if your Diva gets stunned, they don't have enough. First, they have head hitboxes, right? Ball doesn't have a head hitbox. And secondly, they don't have enough movement or enough health. Ball can just adaptive shields to get out safely. So Ball is a lot better at surviving when the enemy team has a Brigitte. That's why you can still play him into Brigitte, but it's not ideal. Don't lose your Echo, that's her name. I like this. This is good positioning. Playing around the tower is really good. Playing around the windmill is really good. Of course, you don't get to decide that. You don't have to go up, by the way. You can just stay here. So long as you stay here, you can still power boost the Echo and you can look around you. Like, I want you to recognize that by being here, or being here, you are in a lot more danger than by being here, because you are exposed. You got the Discord door, they got Echo can just swoop in and kill you, right? If you're playing here, it's a lot harder to see you. You can still go Guardian Angel to your Echo if she goes away. Just play with cover more. Like, playing Mercy, your beam will actually go around corners, so you don't have to focus so much on keeping up with your pocket. you can just be in a safe positioning and still be getting value. You actually almost died from that, by the way. And if Echo, just from the Zenyatta shooting at you. And if the Echo was anywhere near, she would just... She's very far away, but imagine if you were like, even here, she goes like, I'm just gonna drop, beam, and then get out, and the Mercy's just dead. You actually got hit again by 3 damage. We survive. We help our Echo in the duel. Careful behind you, there's a Tracer. So you should focus a little bit more on damage boosting. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. You've got to recognize when your pocket is in actual danger. If Echo is missing 10 health, she's not gonna die. You get more value from damage boosting. Like right here, she's shooting, right? So she's shooting, and we are healing. And she only needed like 10 health. It's better to focus on damage boosting. Like most of the time you want to be damage boosting. The thing I usually say is think about kill thresholds. Right now they have a Tracer who can do some damage, but not in one shot. An Echo who can kill you so long as you are half HP or less. Sigma 110 damage. Ball doesn't count, Mercy doesn't count. Zen is 110 as well, I believe. No, it's 48 times 2, so 96. So the highest they got is 110 from the Sigma if he hits both shots. But the most likely one to happen is over half for the Echo beam. So long as you keep your Echo at like 150 health, you don't have to worry so much about healing. If your Echo is not gonna die on one shot, imagine they had an Ashe, right? Ashe can do 170 damage. Let's say a non-boosted Ashe. So Ashe, 170 damage. So that's your threshold. So long as your Echo is at 171, you can focus on damage boosting. And then you heal after the fight, or during the fight, or when they're not shooting. But that's the idea behind it. If they're not going to die from one shot, or from like a series of events, like the Echo just sweeping in and beaming you down, then you can focus on that. I also like that you can hit your tanks if they are critical or about to die, but once they are no longer critical or about to die, you just leave it to Yana. Is Yana alive? Never mind, Urana's not alive, so killing is your job. This is fine. Again, she doesn't need healing right now. Damage boosting is better. And I want to say again, you did expose yourself to go heal her. So be careful about that. Tracer, don't worry about Tracer. Tracer has recall. You are worrying too much about everyone. Keeping people alive is enough. And yeah, your healing is not enough to keep Monkey alive here, because he basically needs to be above half. Like, basically, if your team is not above half, Echo can just kill them. So I would be worried about, well, keeping them above half. Well, we're face. If they're not, I'll just focus somewhere else. Like, kill your diva here for a bit is fine, but she doesn't need to be full health. We win the fight, we get the rest, that's good. Again, damage who's first, skill second. Damage was good. Damage was good. You get stuck again because you're exposed, trying to get to the high ground, which is unfortunate. You just die. At this point, you should ask your team to have someone to back out a little bit, so that you can come back to them. Like, usually it's probably either Diva or Echo or Tracer who can just come back here and get you, pick you up. We use our Echo, we should not be taking this fight without you. Yell at your team, by the way. If they're not paying attention, just yell at them. Be like, pick me up, you motherfuckers! We win the fight. We use copy, we don't use copy, they use copy. We use 1, 2, 3 else. And we don't win the fight. We are close to win the fight. Echo uses Primal. Good job getting away. You got the engine into the air again. That's pretty good. I'm not sure about Volk here because you got 2 people. You can just call for an anchor. I would just say, yeah, just telling your team picks me up, motherfuckers, is probably too extreme. But just say, yeah, come pick me up, whatever you want to, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I would say Volk here is not an ult you should be using for your team because you basically only got Diva and Echo, so you are not getting value out of the multiple beam thing. But you could go really aggro. There's no reason for you to pop it if you're just gonna be healing. Because yeah, you are only healing 1 person at a time right now. Try to be a little bit louder. If you all think she's, she, I think he's, hold on. I believe we call her Mer, yeah. I believe, at least I was told female pronouns are correct. But yeah, if you guys think she's a little bit quiet, turn her up on Discord. Trust me, it works, it helps. So we still have point, and they are fully investing. This is good for us. That's unlucky. I don't think this is the wrong call, but it's very tough just because your monk is about to die. I don't know where your Ana is, but your monk is getting out. He's discorded. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the rest. Again, though, I do think you kind of wasted your Volk a little bit because you didn't get the AoE effect. You basically only used it to get to your monkey and then get out. Imagine if you had Volk for next fight instead. Bad copy. Don't copy that. Yeah, lost it immediately. Again, you don't need to heal your tank. Like, if your monk is missing 40 health, let your Ana heal him. And this means that your Ana is getting value, right? Your Ana is getting healing. She's getting all percentage from the healing. And you can be damage boosting and getting all percentage from damage boosting. And someone else is getting more percentage from damage boosting. By healing your tanks when they are not critical or about to die, what you're doing is you're cannibalizing on the Ana. Then Ana doesn't get enough ult charge. You get the same amount of ult charge, and whoever you have been damage boosting will also be getting less damage boost. So less ult charge for the damage boost. And less value overall. Damage boost. You do damage boost almost enough. You just take a moment to hit your tanks when you don't have to. Now I would be okay with you healing the monkey, but even then, he's still in the line of sight of your Ana. So it's not really necessary. It's fine, you don't need to hit them to full. That's a good heal. Now you can definitely heal them. Now you can go back to damage boost. Yeah. That's good healing. She dies anyway, unlucky. Don't try to rush in the middle of flags. Yeah, that's a mistake on your part. Very aggro-res. If you hear the flag sign, just don't try to rest. Just keep moving. This fight is lost. This fight is lost, but they used a lot of ults. Okay, hold on. I believe I was told that... Hold on, I'm scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Oh no, it's Haksha. The one that has actually a role as a... Target color is Haksha. Do you have any role as any... ult tracking? Do you do ult tracking in your team? That's what I'm asking basically. A lot of main supports usually do ult tracking, so... Do you do ult tracking? Is the question. Do you have a dedicated ult tracker? If you have no one ult tracking, you should definitely start trying to ult track. I just don't speak much. You don't have to speak much. Like, hold on, let me go back. Oh, we haven't given up on this fight yet, have we? So, this fight is lost. We agree to lose it and regroup. And I do believe, like, your team probably has a comms issue. You're possibly trying to, but I need help for sure. You are trying to do everything, man. I feel you. I try to do everything too. But yeah, you guys need dedicated roles, for sure. I want to see when the fight is over, because again, you guys should lose this fight. We're investing gold, so maybe not, actually. Don't, your resets are too aggro. Stop resting in front of the entire enemy team. You will just die every time. Even if you get the res, I'd rather you be alive than the Tracer, Tracer can just come back. We won the point. Okay. So let's go back to these, to wherever the last fight ends. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so we won the fight, right? They are not pushing. Both of our main healers don't talk too much. We can fix that. And again, you don't need to talk a lot. All you have to say is, by the way, this is something I like doing. Anyone in the team after a fight, like right now it's after a fight, we basically won. They are not engaging. We lost teams that are individual wars, but they have better coordination. Yeah, I feel you. I've had that happen before as well. So right now, the fight is over, right? Anyone in the team can just go recap. Recap means, what do they have? What's the plan? And that's a single word. Recap can mean all of those things, because everyone in the team means that if we say recap, we are trying to prepare for the next fight. So someone says recap. This is basically, fight is over. This is the path I always try to take. So the fight is over. Someone says recap. We all track. And we do a plan. And all of these can be different people. Like, we can have an in-game leader who calls that the fight is won. So we clean up and the fight is over. Then anyone can do recap, because maybe the main support will not remember to do recap, right? So anyone can just be like, recap, and then we jump into the all tracking, which, let's say it's the main support. All you have to say is, they have trans, bulk, and flux. That's it. 5 words. They have trans, bulk, flux. 5 words. You don't need to speak a lot. We try to do this now between fights by calling what's the game plan. We'll start calling recap to think about all dosage and next fight. Here's the thing. If you guys are used to doing what's the game plan, you don't have to change the word or the phrase, whatever. You just have to make sure that your planning also includes all tracking, because you cannot make a plan if you do not know what ultimates the enemy team has, right? If you plan to, well, let's just dive the Sen, but Sen has trans. Or we just go like, let's just flax them and win them, but Sen has trans. It doesn't work that way. Then you have to be like, okay, we all track as before we plan the fight, and then we can be like, okay, we have to dive the Sen as soon as we can to force the transcendence, and then we can flax, or we can blade, or we can copy, or whatever we wanted to do initially that would have been countered by trans. Also, I will say this, sometimes it's not bad for the entire team to do a little bit of all tracking. But you have to make sure that you have a point where you can be just like, someone has a base idea, maybe your main support can be like, okay, I think they have flags and bulk, and someone can be like, they have trans, and someone, maybe you said, I think they have flags, poles, and trans. Sorry, let's start over. I think they have flags, copy, and bulk, and someone can be like, they don't have copy, they used it. So you can be like, okay. Then someone can be like, they have trans as well. You can be like, okay, and then your entire team has the knowledge already. Only by exchanging 2 or 3 sentences. Just have a base to go off of. Even if it's wrong, just have a base to go off of. And then your team can work on it. But yeah. And of course you will just get better with it with time. But you don't have to say a lot. All you have to say is, they have blah blah blah. And someone else can call the recap or the what's the game plan or whatever. And then you have a shot caller who can do the planning. Okay, so we saw this map already. Let's go to the next one.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're running basically the same. That's a mistake.
Capture the objective.
This is not well. You really want better point presence than this. Never mind, this is ruins. I don't know why it took me too well. You still definitely want... At the very least, this is a sniper map, so you probably want a sniper. Sigma is really good for contesting point, because point is very open, so your dive tanks can have a very difficult time just standing on the point and taking shots from the Sen and the Sigma. We're honestly just practicing our dive. Got it. It's fine. At the very least, I would recommend you get an Ash. That's the minimum I would recommend. For this point, just get an Ash. Ash can still work with dive, but snipers are just really, really good on this map. Reviews to going, you must be tired. It's like 6 hours today. Normally we run Widow Sick Ball. That's probably for the better, yeah. Also, you are not running Sen, which is going to be a major problem for our tanks. Because our tanks will be deleted by their Sen. We dive the Sen, that's really good. Our Monkey dies. Discord power push, so that's why Monkey and Diva have a really hard time right now. They just get deleted. We killed the Sigma, which is really good. They rest the Sen. Oh right, I should be looking at you particularly. I was looking at this like a team fight. Power push in Diego is fine. This is dangerous. Don't go so far in the front line. Healing Diego is fine, prevent him from dying. Now we go back to damage boosting. No need to be healing anymore. Yep, damage boost. You're dead from that. You're dead from that. Yeah. You should be looking for healing. Like, stay in front of your Ana. Forget about damage boosting and pocketing. Just stay in front of your Ana so you can get at least 1 health because it's 100 damage. We are dead. But I think we may win. Like, not only can we win the fight, but we already have points, so at the very least we can pick up on the cut percentage. Yell at someone. Hey, team! I need someone to pick me up. Someone can pick me up, right? Because otherwise this happens. Basically, there's a fight breaking out, and we are not here. So anyone in the team, Tracer is good, Echo is good. We don't have a pocket for our Echo, so Echo just dies. And by the way, you can play Echo without a pocket. You basically just have to play her like Tracer. Just go around, get the Megas, get the health pack. Do not fly a lot because hide. You are very exposed when you're hiding. When you're gliding, your hitbox is enormous. Heal Diana, prioritize Diana. I don't know if fall back. At the very least, one of you should be able to pick up the Mercy before the fight happens again. You've got all high mobility heroes, right? High mobility, high mobility, high mobility, high mobility. Also, if you are playing ball, ball can just roll back and 1 second pick up the Mercy. I will say, if you want to an overworld view, you should not be standing here. Like, why are you standing here? The point of dive is dropping on the enemy, not just holding. This is why if you were going to hold, you are playing as if you had a Sigma ball. You are just trying to hold this choke. With Sigma, you can't do that. You can just hold up here because you can just back out and you got the shield and you get the sack. And ball can just go around and roll and be very bad. But if you're gonna dive on this point, you really need to start from somewhere that's like advantageous for you. So you can start from like up here and drop behind them, then get out. You can be like up here, drop behind them, get out. You can be like up here, so this is very dangerous because they can just see you. If you're really, really going defensive, you can be like up here and jump into them or wherever you want to and just jump at them. Because if you're gonna jump, if you're gonna use your cooldowns to engage, you can do it from wherever. Otherwise, you can just be like either of these, just drop on them, then cooldowns to get out. At the very least, I expect at least one of you to be able to go back and get your mercy. So we use the point. Tarzan just gets 3 kills. Lost fight. Nope, lost fight. We don't rest, we don't heal, we just die and we regroup. That's it. It's a lost fight. We have 2 people. This is lost fight. No need, by the way, no need to. I guess you can heal the diva. I was gonna say no need to heal the diva because you already have ult. But Ana also has ult already, so you know, doesn't really matter. But yeah, let's regroup here. The fight is just. Again, I will say dive is just not great on this map. You really want at least one tank with point presence because the point is very, very open. That's why Sigma Ball works really, really well. Even Rhyme Ball works okay on this map, but Sigma is just a lot better.
Let's get you back out there.
We are dive, or we're playing together like this. We pop Volk. I'm okay with it. Again, Volk is an ult you can just use whenever you want to. Stop copying Tracer. I do not care how... This is gonna sound very mean. I do not care how good of a Tracer you are. Sigma is a great target. She's actually a pretty decent target because you can just throw the dynamite, explode it, get the enough charge for Bob, then you just throw Bob on point. Ball is a decent target. Tracer is a really bad target. Why? Because her ult doesn't have that much value. Copy is about copying someone else's ultimate rather than the entire hero. Sometimes you can get value from the hero, but copying the ultimate is a lot better. We win the fight, good cleanup. We use a couple ults, but it's fine. They also use a couple ults. They are stalling, damage boosting the echo is fine. Is it 3rd point? Yeah, it's 3 points. Damage boosting the echo is fine. Dodge the mines, this is good. Monkey's dead. We get the cap, we rest the monkey, this is fine. Heal the diva. Diva is taking damage for the boost, for the... Yeah, I like this, you take damage for the ult charge. It's really good, that's a good idea. I don't know if you knew, but mines don't actually give volt charge, so... Yep, it's definitely the right call. Power boost the echo, heal the echo, power boost the echo. Again, if she's like 170, you're fine just in her. Now that I will go again over the thresholds now. They now have a pocketed Mercy, right? A pocketed Ashe, I mean. Who does like over 200 damage on a headshot long range. So you cannot heal over these. So your next threshold would be a non-headshot pocketed shot, which would be 75 plus 30% to about 125. So you are still just looking for 130 in this case. Because if you cannot get them over the threshold point, then you go for the next best. Power boost the echo, let your Ana kill your tanks, power boost the echo. Ignore Bob, we can literally just ignore Bob. I'm fine with Volk. Volk is one of those ults, much like Push From, much like High Noon. You can use them to get value at any time. It's not like an ult you have to save to win a fight. It's good enough that it should help you win a fight, but it's not valuable enough that you should keep it for sure for the next fight. We shouldn't focus Bob this much. We have dive, we can just like dive their team, let Bob be on point and do nothing. Rest is good. Then you go back to your team, this is fine, I like it. You help your Echo stay alive, you help your Monkey stay alive, you help your Echo stay alive, we win the fight with damage boost. Yeah, this is good. I think your gameplay doesn't have any problems. It's probably the fact that your team doesn't have enough comps, and playing Mercy, you don't have a very high mechanical requirement, so you can focus a little bit more on doing the knowledge stuff, like focusing on ult tracking, focusing on maybe flank calling, which is not something everyone can do, but if you think you can do it, go for it. But ult tracking you can probably do playing Mercy, playing Brigitte if you have to play Brigitte. We touch push from, we keep the D.Va top. We will just win this fight. Yeah, we clean up. Right, this is good. Overall, yeah, pretty solid. And now we get third point, which now is Lighthouse. And again, you guys are practicing this comp. This is a good comp, but on this point especially, it is extremely hard to dive something, because this is the only place you have to set up, and you cannot reach them. Yeah, if you win the point, maybe you can do this, but even then, they can just clear your high ground. So it's actually very difficult to play dive on this point. Ball is a lot better, because with ball you can just roll through the point. Sigma can just come this way or this way and put pressure on, right? It's a lot better to play Sigma ball here. This is definitely one of those maps where I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to be playing dive on this one. Fly up, no need to, yeah, kill the Ana. Someone, by the way, comes, please. There's a free tracer in your backline. We don't kill the free tracer in the backline. That's very unfortunate. I don't know if you knew, but you can actually kill them with Echo. Like, the left click into beam is an immediate kill. Because the left click actually does, I believe it's 102 damage. And then the beam just does 50 damage in 0.25 seconds. So yeah, you just kill them with left click on the head and beam. And if you can, just left click on the head is 102 damage. And a shot from Ana or a melee or a nade, you just kill the tracer. Why did you wake the tracer up? Why? Like, we were planning to kill her. Please do not do that. Okay, let's go back to Mercy. Oh, just so you know, power boosted Echo left click goes from 102 damage to about 132 damage. So with melee, just kill. Hack bench for waking up Tracer, lol. I like this playing around the pagoda to avoid dying. They take the point, but we should win the fight. By the way, this is the right thing to do. If you have to give a point to win the fight, you do it every time. We just give a point, but we get 2 picks and we turn the point within like 15%. Good rest. It wasn't strictly necessary. Monkey can just come back, but I'd rather just use the rest and be able to set up. So again, the problem with this is that even this doesn't have a great setup. Because yeah, you can drop here, you can drop here, and you can drop here, but you still have to use your cooldowns to engage in a lot of places. If they do this, then you have to engage, and it's very easy for them to do. If they do this, then you have to drop here, and it's not great. But I guess you could boop them, maybe, if you have good boops. In the case, it's not amazing, and this is the only spot where you can set up, which is why dive is not great on this map anyway. Because they know you're playing dive, so what do? Well, just this. Hey guys, let's go this way. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, dive. What are you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna jump us and use all of your cooldowns in advance? Thank you. Instead, by the way, notice they are just going this way, which is the worst thing they can do. Because if they go that way, you can actually just drop on top of them. Which is what dive really likes to do. Again, stop flying, so you have the tendency to just fly whenever you can, which exposes you a lot. Because you end up being in the air, and if they have a head scan, then you are probably gonna get roughed up. You don't die, but you could definitely die. And also they've got the anti-dive comp now. So at this point they have a brig. I would definitely be like, we'll swap off of dive. We are not gonna get great value from dive here. You cannot do that rest because people are watching you, then you die. Karsa is getting a lot of value on the Tracer. You should let him play Tracer more often, lol. He got a triple kill. We lose the fight, we go again. Way too early. So, Winner's point. He plays it every again. I guess I just happened to see a McCree game apparently. I don't think the uptime commands work, but you can see at the bottom right of the stream how long I've been up for. This is way too early because we already lost the point, so we are basically just going in one by one. Monk is gonna die, then Echo is gonna die, then you are gonna die with Volk. The fight is gonna be lost. And we already lost point anyway, so... You should die here. They don't chase you, but you should die here. We should not have won that. We should not have retaken that. They never engaged, which is good for us, but... I have been live since 1 PM EST. Today is gonna be a 6-hour stream, at the least. I usually only do 3 hours, but it's fine. Unlucky, but at the same time, it's already a 4 kill, so the fight is won. We can't rest that, but you know, the fight is won. We go back to the high ground. This is fine. Urana is on the low ground, which is pretty dangerous. Figure I have a pretty good handle on Tracer, so why do a Tracer vote when I could do a Kree vote? Because Overwatch is a game where you play the best heroes you can play, not the heroes you may play sometimes. But in either case, yeah, I'm fine with you doing a McCree. What of you? If you think your Tracer's good, yeah, for sure. Again, you go too high up, you expose yourself a lot. Like, there's no reason for you to be this far up in the air. Killing the Echo to keep from dying is good, then you power boost. Your Monk is dead, but that's not your fault. People on point again, dive is just very, very difficult to play into that. So basically the fights you've won is the fight where your DPS killed 3 or 4 people each. I don't know how to control my shift. So basically what you do is... Don't press it a lot. You can control it a little bit, you can crouch to not go as high. You can stop it early by pressing space. So you don't have to follow the momentum earlier. Like here, you don't have to even use it. You are using it a lot when you have it. Learn to control your shit. You don't have to use it at all times. If you are in a safe position and you can reach the person you are pocketing, damage boosting or whatever, you don't have to go anywhere. A bad habit of a lot of lower ranked players, and by the way, lower ranked players, I mean like Diamond and under. Which I know doesn't sound like lower ranked, but basically the barrier is like Master Sub and lower. Yeah, basically pressing shift after GA cancels it, so you can cancel it. You can press spacebar to get momentum, you can crouch to reduce the momentum a little bit, you can learn to control it a little bit, but you can also not use it. Because I've noticed something a lot of lower ranked players against Diamond tend to do is they don't like doing nothing. They don't like having something to do and not doing it. So a lot of lower ranked players will take fights even though they don't have to. Will use cooldowns even though they don't have to, right? Will use ultimates even though they may not have to. This is a lost fight. Don't walk into the pulse bomb! You walked into the pulse bomb! Please! I will we are fair in this stream. We are fair. We do not judge Karsa for his dragon kills. We don't judge Mer for her post-bomb death. GG go next. Okay, again, Sinner just getting 3 kills. Well, 2 kills and a D-Mech. But this is a lost fight. We don't go in. No. You should have died right there. The Brady's taking a lot of damage. I think Karsa helped you. Chase the Tracer out. Yeah, but again, both of your DPS just got 4 picks between the 2 of them. So, you know, just won the fight. Imagine the same, like, you guys are doing really good in the Tracer Echo. You just got to get the Sigma Ball under control. And you would be doing meta right now. Well, unsent, of course, but... Volk because it's a fight, yeah, this is good. Healing is fine because we are taking damage. Power boosting now is good because no one's in range. I mean, in risk of death, I mean. One fight, nice. We ate the false bomb, well done. They flags, we still win this. Alright. Too long don't read a few things is stop exposing yourself so much, you are exposing yourself a lot. Stop healing the tanks. I know this sounds pretty bad, but the tanks don't need you to heal them. That was definitely intentional, definitely. Hold on, let's go to a point where there's no tick tick tick. Okay. So, the tanks don't always need you to heal them. If you can let your Ana heal the tanks, then you can do so. If the tank is going to die unless you heal them, then you can heal them. If your DPS is going to die, then you can heal them. But your 55 healing per second is a lot less valuable than your 30% damage boost per second, which can be a lot more than just 55. And it can even help other people get all charged, help you get all charged. You let your Ana get all charged, right? So those 2 things I think are probably the best. On the other side, outside of your actual gameplay, you could be trying to ult track a little more. If your team doesn't have a dedicated ult tracker, you could be at the very least when someone goes recap or what's the plan or whatever you guys want to call it. I only like recap because it's a single word, but if you guys are fine with what's the plan, it's still pretty short, so we just go what's the plan, and then you can just be like, okay, they have flags and rally, and someone can be like, hey, they have trance too. Then we plan for trance as well. But yeah, even if it's not perfect, like even if you are not perfect at it, no one is perfect at right away. You may not even be good at it right away. It may take you some practice to get to being good at it. But even if you don't, then if you don't start practicing, you'll never get there. And it's definitely something that's really, really valuable in teams. Having a designated ult tracker is really good. Okay. So, my throat is starting to kill me, but luckily we only have 1 more to go. No, I'm fine, don't worry, I'm jesting. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna take a small hydration break, so that I don't die. And I'll be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, chat, I am back. We have one more to go today. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jumpany. Alright. Let's import the last one.